England have beat Japan 2-0. They played well for about 60 minutes of the game, but there was a large portion of the second half where they were distinctly second best to Japan and were very lucky to still be at 1-0 at times. Karen Bardsley keeping them at 1-0. The Japanese goalkeeper actually kept the score down as well when England could have raced away with the game in the first half and they were on top. Ellen White has scored both goals. They're basically carbon copy goals, one on 14 minutes, one on 83 minutes. Both very similar in how the approach play worked, quick, incisive, quick one-touch passing, and it's the timing of the final pass and the timing of the run by Ellen White that creates both goals. They are carbon copies, both brilliant finishes. The second goal I think is better than the first, personally. Considering that it came off out of nowhere, considering England were literally under pressure for the previous 30, 40 minutes of basically rearguard action. It comes from nowhere and catches the Japanese cold, I think, because they weren't expecting an attack because they've been so dominant in the second half. Brilliant response by England to all that pressure was to, score a goal whilst under pressure. Something they haven't done in the second half of any of the games is score a second goal. They've always been doing really well 1-0 up or 2-0 up, but they haven't taken that next goal, and they've always been better in the first half than the second half of the game. So it was good to see a goal in the second half, and actually taking up an advantage of an opportunity. They have been wasteful in the first two games with a shooting percentage that wasn't great. Today they get that second goal, created a lot of opportunities and a lot of shots on target as well, which is very, very important. They weren't just wild shots off target. They were creating good opportunities and making the goalkeeper actually work. So some positives for England. Still not a perfect 90-minute performance. There's still room for improvement, and that's what's scary is they can get better. The Japanese, that was the best they've played in the tournament so far, and that's saying a lot considering they lost. They laboured in the first game against Argentina, were patchy in the game against Scotland. That's the best they've played, and they come out with no points out of the game. Their best performance is actually their worst result, so make of that what you will. England has still got room for improvement. I still think they can get better, They won while not playing at their best in the second half, which is a positive because a sign of a good side is winning while not playing well. While the first half was the best first half I think this England side has ever put in, second half improvement is needed. Concentration, just basic, get the pass right. In the other game, I did not watch the other game in full. I watched the penalty fiasco at the end because obviously Scotland were 3-0 up. With 20 minutes left, and it got flipped on the head in the last 20 minutes. Really chaotic second half. Most of the goals in the Scotland-Argentina game came in the second half, but the controversial penalty decision and the retake and this new rule that's been seen for the second time this tournament. The first time we saw it was Australia-Italy, the Australian keeper off her line before the ball is struck, yellow carded, retaken penalty is scored. It's happened again. But I did say in the live stream earlier today that VAR could decide Scotland and Argentina's fate. And if both sides go out because of what's happened in this game, with the VAR taking up so much time in that end of that second half, I think both sides will be really frustrated and will be lodging complaints, I have no doubt. So it's 3-2 to Scotland at this point. A penalty is correctly awarded by VAR. I didn't see the VAR review for that penalty, but I turned the channel over just in time to see the first penalty taken and saved by Lee Alexander and the rebound. Now, it would have been interesting if the goal gone in off the rebound, because would the Argentinian player had to retake the penalty? That is the question. We didn't get to that point, but Lee Alexander keeps the ball out the net. There's a scramble to clear it. The ball goes dead via a foul or throw in. The players want to get on with the game. Referee stops the game. So there's been several more phases of play. Referee stops the game. Another VAR check. And at this point, another penalty. There's been no handball in the box, there's been no foul in the box, so it has to be the goalkeeper leaving her line. And Lee Alexander did leave her line. Now, I find it very interesting that FIFA did not bring in these rules last year for the men's game, for the Men's World Cup. And I think I know why. Had this happened in the Men's World Cup, the public outcry and the negative response that would have come FIFA's way would have led to a rule change, I have no doubt. It's the Women's World Cup, seen as less important. And two sides have been affected by VAR. The length of time it takes for a review, the fiasco that is the last 5-10 minutes of the game, and the way the game ends at full time, the referee just blows a whistle. and the players don't even know what's going on. Both sides look bemused. Both sides want to keep playing. They're arguing with the referee to say keep playing, and she wants to end the game. And I find it very, very bizarre. That last 5-10 minutes. I feel sorry for Scotland. I also feel sorry for Argentina, because Argentina have 2 points and they're not going to get through, they could look at the VAR, the length of time taken, the disruption to the flow of the game right at the end. And while they got that penalty and they got that second point, because they drew earlier in the tournament against Japan, that may not be enough for them. Scotland were 3-2 up, and had Lee Alexander not been pinged for that, they would have won the game 3-2, most likely. And I did say in the live stream earlier today, if you want to rewatch that I feared that a VAR decision could, in the Scotland-Argentina game, or even in, well, the England we knew were through, but Scotland-Argentina, I felt that VAR could have an outcome and an impact on which side, or let's say neither side. If neither side gets out of the group, they can look at it. But I did think it would have an impact because both teams were desperate for the win to progress to the next round. Argentina are still an outside bet for progression to the next round. Scotland are out. And VAR has a big part to play in that. And the remit of VAR and the rule changes that are controversial, especially the goalkeeper leaving her line. The handball ones have been controversial as well. So I think FIFA have to look at the wording of the rules they've got, and is this actually the best thing for the game? Because it's ended in farce. Whether it's the official rules or not, it has ended badly for Scotland and Argentina, because you have Argentina go out. Even though they've had an amazing comeback, they will look on that last 10 minutes and go, actually, we wasted so much time with the VAR reviews when we could have been, having another attack and taking advantage of the momentum swing and get that fourth goal. Because we were faffing around with the VAR review, that's cost us as well. Scotland will be frustrated with how it's ended and aggrieved. And at the end, both sets of players were consoling each other because the Argentinians don't know their fate and Scotland are out. So there we go. Discuss in the comment section below, if you were watching the Scotland-Argentina game, your thoughts on the last 5-10 minutes of the game. I think it's farcical. I think it's actually made it worse than it was before. I think last year at the Men's World Cup, I think they had the idea for VAR correct, if not 100% accurate, and the rules were better than they are now. The change in the wording of the handball rule and the goalkeeper on the line during a penalty, I think they've got that wrong. Personally, I think it's made the game more controversial and has created more problems rather than solutions. Personal opinion. Looking at how that game ended and how much of an embarrassing advert that is for women's football, it doesn't look great. If that's the Men's World Cup, they don't make that rule change. It wouldn't be allowed. Because the men's game is the pinnacle of the sport. We don't want anything to tarnish that, but the women's game will embarrass the women on international TV in a do-or-die game for both sides. That's my personal opinion on it. I think it's made the women's game look amateur hour, and this has been a really good World Cup so far. VAR has been the controversial point, and now it's even more controversial, and this will be discussed for quite some time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Place your comments below if you watched the Scotland-Argentina game and your thoughts on that VAR farce at the end and the penalty farce. And England, room for improvement, but good performance, and I think they will get better as the tournament progresses. I think they've got more in the tank, but that Scotland-Argentina game, I watched the last 5 minutes of it and it was farcical. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place those comments below and I will have some more videos for you very, very soon.